Hello and welcome to Backseat Blackout. So recently we made our first ever visit to an insanely anticipated theme park, Phantasialand in Germany, and boy did this park blow us away. This is the best theme park I have ever been to, and I'm going to explain exactly why in this video. I'll be honest, this park has been on my radar since the opening of Black Mamba way back in 2006, but why it has took me 13 years to actually visit this place, I will never know. But now I've finally been, I can understand what I have been missing out on, so without further ado, you're watching Backseat Blackout, and this is 7 reasons why Phantasialand is the best. So let's talk about that incredible coaster lineup. Phantasialand is currently home to 7 unique world-class roller coasters. You're probably thinking that 7 is quite a small number, especially when compared to other popular European theme parks, but Phantasialand makes up for this shortfall in pure quality. There are no filler coasters here. The 2 iconic thrill coasters, Taron and Black Mamba, are clearly amongst the best in their class. The former, Taron, is ranked amongst the best coasters in the entire world, and it's clear to see why. Taron is the world's fastest Intamin Blitz coaster, featuring 2 LSM launches with 1 propelling riders at speeds of over 72 miles per hour. What makes Taron stand out is its tightly packed layout and scenic interactions. Taron is so densely designed that the track overlaps itself 116 times throughout the layout. Black Mamba, on the other hand, is a fantastic inverted coaster that shares a lot in common with Nemesis at Alton Towers. I'd go as far to say that Black Mamba arguably beats Nemesis at its own game. They really up the ante with the near-miss elements and do an incredible job of hiding the layout within the scenery. This coaster also packs a lot of force to boot, but don't let its compact appearance fool you. And then you have the other coasters such as Wingers, Colorado Adventure and Rake. These are what family coasters should be. Wingers is crammed full of unexpected surprises, Colorado Adventure is basically Big Thunder Mountain on steroids, and Rake is simply stunning. They did a cracking job on this family boomerang. Templar the Nighthawk is also being transformed into a brand new VR experience called Crazy Bats, and not forgetting the upcoming 2020 steampunk powerhouse F.L.Y, which will be the world's longest and world's first launched flying coaster. There's a lot to look forward to. I've always been a sucker for theming. I know it's not necessary for making a great coaster or a great ride. A great coaster is already great if it has great design. However, I believe a great coaster can be made amazing with excellent theming. And this is what Phantasialand does all across the board. In fact, the theming is so consistent that even the flat rides look just as good as the coasters. This is especially rare with rides such as a top spin, for example. Talican looks like $1 million. If anyone can comment below a better themed top spin than Talican, a better themed invert than Black Mamba, or even a better themed Intamin Blitz coaster than Taron, then I'll happily breakdance in the middle of CBeebies Land at Towers. Heck, I'd be hard pressed to find a better looking junior boomerang than Rake, or better themed spinner than Wingers even. It's undeniable this park knows how to theme their attractions. And it's something that runs evident throughout the entirety of the park in general, not only the attractions. Just look at this Chinese themed area, it's simply jaw-dropping. Klugheim feels like it's been ripped straight from a set in Game of Thrones. Rookborough, the brand new steampunk area coming in 2020, again I'm sure this is going to blow the socks off from everyone who walks into it. Phantasialand is a theme park done as art, and I think many parks could learn a thing or two from them. Now, do be warned, I tried to make this section as spoiler free as possible, however there may be some minor spoilers which I do apologise about in advance. As previously mentioned, Phantasialand is full of surprises. I don't think anything can come close to my first ride on Wingers. Wingers has 2 separate layouts, each boasting unique surprise elements, both that I've never experienced anything quite like them before, especially on a Mora spinner. Without going into too much detail, my favourite surprise happened towards the end of Wingers Force, and I generally came off thinking, why has this never been done before? It is utter genius. Wingers in general raises the bar for what a family spinning coaster is capable of. They're really cool and really innovative. There are some equally unique elements and rides such as River Quest, and some of the dark rides also made me raise my eyebrows too. They're very clever. I was amazed by the use of lighting in Black Mamba's station. It's so bizarre hitting the brake run in complete and utter darkness, only to find yourself back in the station when your eyes readjust. It's the little things like that. The wall surrounding Taron makes for a ridiculously disorientating experience. Whether intentional or not, the wall acts as a sound barrier, so when you enter the flip-in stages of the cycle, the noise bounces from silence to screams. It is so unusual. And who can forget Taron? Who needs inversions? Taron is proof that with some pops of airtime, super tight compact layout and impressive landscaping, you can still have a crowd pleaser of a coaster. It's how I felt Cheetah Hunt should have been like. Instead, that Blitz coaster is drawn out as a completely pointless barrel roll, and in the end an underwhelming experience in my opinion. If there's one thing Phantasialand is good at, ironically a lot of things, it's the water rides, because they are exceptionally good here and also real good soakers. Trust me, you want to bring a pair of flip-flops and swimming trunks because you will get obliterated. Phantasialand is home to 4 water rides. Chiapas, a beautifully themed log flume, no surprise. River Quest, quite possibly the scariest rapids ride around, no joke. Wacobato, an interactive splash battle style attraction. And Hollywood Tour, a boat ride which I can't find for the life of me on the website, very strange. Chiapas is an obvious fan favourite, featuring 3 drops, one which is the world's steepest drop on a log flume, and a really interesting temple rave section which is great fun. River Quest is far from family friendly. This rapids takes you high up in the air, drops you, throws you, batters you and utterly drenches you. This one is certainly not for the faint-hearted. Whereas Wacobato and Hollywood Tour are far more relaxing and chilled out experiences. A great way to reflect on your top 10 coasters after a whoring on Taron and Mamba. Lovely. Now, operations and staff may be something you would put in the back seat when it comes to talking about how great a theme park is, but in many cases this can have a massive impact on the day you have at a theme park. Now, it doesn't matter how fantastic Shambhala at Portaventura is, but running just one train with over an hour queue is unacceptable, and honestly makes an otherwise brilliant theme park just alright. Luckily, this wasn't the case with Phantasialand on our visit, as the park was run really well. Seriously, we went on a bank holiday weekend and Taron was basically walk-on. The longest queue we had to wait was probably, 10 minutes for Black Mamba, but that's because it was on one train, which was totally fine with queues this short. Even with the sub 5 minute queues for Taron, they were still running this thing with 4 trains. It is an excellent example of a queue line eater. You should see the dispatch times on this too, barely sat down for 20 seconds before it started rolling. 10 out of 10. And the staff were very friendly too, some of the nicest staff at a park we've ever come across. Big shout out to Glenn Homburg for help making us feel really accommodated, really appreciate that. I absolutely love the atmosphere in Phantasialand. There is that rare essence of Disney-esque magic in the air, but at the same time very mature, bold and moody tones throughout the park. Like entering Klugheim, you can almost feel the cold, foreboding wrath of the Norse climate. The Chinese area feels almost too blissfully peaceful for a theme park environment. It is beautiful. And then you have the Deep in Africa area. You really feel like you're transported straight into the continent, especially when the sun is blazing. Same can be said for the Mexican area also. The opening Plaza Berlin does a phenomenal job of bringing you back to the 1920s, with Roman actors dressed in classical outfits and old-fashioned architecture, with Wu's Town being completely enclosed, adding to the mystery of the area. Phantasialand does a perfect job of building an atmosphere, and in my opinion plays a huge role in why this park is so successful. There are also a variety of shows scattered throughout the park which are well worth checking out. There's even a show you can watch as you eat called Phantasima, which is a perfect way to experience the shows without losing that precious riding time. And finally, the flat rides. There's not a great deal of thrilling flat rides at Phantasialand, but the couple they do have are out of this world. I'm sure most of you have seen this pop up on Lad Bible or something of the sorts. This is Taron, a suspended topspin built by Huss, and it does not mess around. This attraction is famous for its almost theatrical-like ride cycle, featuring bursts of flames, fountains and dramatic music. The spin cycles, especially the second wave, are extremely intense and disorientating. The other thrilling flat ride here is Mystery Castle. Built all the way back in 1998, this intimate ballistic drop tower takes you to over 200 feet, enclosed in complete darkness. Like Taron, this attraction is especially well themed, and also delivers a very unusual ride cycle, which changes depending on which time you ride. There are no shortage of more family orientated flat rides, walkthroughs and dark ride attractions, but some of these are best left for yourself to discover. Phantasialand is a park full of mystery, and this is something I do not want to spoil for anyone visiting for their first time. So with that, let's wrap this up. Phantasialand, Phantasialand, Phantasialand. Seriously, is there a correct way of saying this? Comment below if it's more Fantas or Fantas or Fantaise, like some kind of sauce mixed with egg. But I digress. I made this video as a mere love letter to my new favourite theme park, and as overhyped as you may think this park is, it's a park that deserves to be hyped in my opinion. They are incredibly passionate about what they do, so book a flight to Cologne, throw them your money and check this incredible place out. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe for more content like this, and give the bell a flick to stay all up to date. Top left is our latest video, bottom left is a random one, and our magic button is over on the right. You've been watching Backseat Blackout. Ta-ra a bit.